welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel, and we're doing a SEGA Saturn stream on the SuperStation One, and there's a good reason for why we are doing this. So funny enough, I got a lot of questions asking me, hey Pixel, what's the SEGA Saturn core like on the SuperStation One? And I'm like, okay, well, it's the Saturn core. It's the same core that I've been using on the MiSTer FPGA, both my single SD-RAM MiSTer FPGA and a dual SD-RAM MiSTer FPGA. Now, so there's a few misconceptions out there, guy, where people think that the SuperStation One won't play the SEGA Saturn core. Now, I don't know who put that chatter out there, or why someone suggested that, or why that is out in the wild, but I got a few questions going, oh, does the Saturn core work? Does the Saturn core work? And it's very unusual to me, or it's very weird for me, because like, if anyone's been following MiSTer development, you know the SEGA Saturn core works both on dual SD-RAM and single SD-RAM. There are some advantages to dual RAM, but honestly, when you weigh the pros and the cons, like if I had to pick either a dual SD-RAM MiSTer FPGA or a single SD-RAM, I would go for single SD-RAM, and that's what SuperStation One has gone for. The vast majority of cores work with it. There are just a few experimental cores, like the Atari Jaguar core has some gains, but what generally happens is whatever has gains via dual SD-RAM, well, eventually they get worked into the single SD-RAM. The developers are very talented. They just get all that stuff working. Now, with the MiSTer FPGA with a dual SD-RAM setup, the only differences as far as we know are that if you try and play a 3D fighting game, not a 2D fighter, so we're talking Virtua Fighter, fighting Vipers, or what's the other one? Last Bronx maybe, but all of the 3D fighters that the SEGA Saturn had, if you try and play those, there's some parts where you get slowed down on single SD-RAM, and honestly the slowdown's not even that bad, because we'll check it. We're running it on the SuperStation One, which is the single SD-RAM one, right? So honestly, it's fine. Now, if you're hardcore, if your main game on the SEGA Saturn was Virtua Fighter and the 3D fighters, then it might be worth you considering, thinking, okay, maybe the SuperStation One isn't the right choice for me. Maybe I need to go dual RAM. But when you go dual RAM, you're probably going to end up paying a little bit more. Other kind of purpose-made systems out there, like the MiSTer Multi-System 2, as far as I can tell, they are single SD-RAM as well. They're more expensive as well, but you can't upgrade that. You can upgrade a MiSTer Pi to a dual SD-RAM or an original DE10 Nano. I'm not sure if you can do it with a QM Tech one as well. So it all depends on what your needs are. Everyone has different needs. Like, for example, I got into MiSTer FPGA. I got into FPGA gaming for fighting games, mainly CPS 1 and CPS 2. But before I go into the rest of that, let me just say hello to everyone. So first person in, Sterner sir, how you doing there, buddy? Ross Beck, absolutely, how are you there, my buddy? I really do hope you get yours this year as well. Scalinio, how you doing there, my buddy? We got a mod in the house, Essential Nonsense, super duper mainstream taco. Do you believe I'll need the fan for my SuperStation One, especially if I'm running a lot of different 3D cores? Wouldn't order a fan with my console because they were sold out. I think you'll be all right, dude. I've got the MiSTer aluminium case from MiSTer Add-ons, and that runs passive. This should run absolutely fine. They're designed to withstand a certain amount of heat. The fan there is for peace of mind. In fact, talking about the MiSTer Multi-System 2, when I spoke to Richard, who is, I forget his last name, Richard Horn, I think, the main brains, the engineer behind the MiSTer Multi-System 2. And the MiSTer Multi-System 2 does not require a fan, right? But Richard said he put it there for peace of mind because people seem to think it's required. So the fan was put into MiSTer Multi-System 2 not because it's required, but because people are like, oh no, I need a fan. You know, sometimes you overkill with stuff. That's quite the case. I mean, there's no harm in running cooler, right? The cooler you run to an extent is better, but it is not a requirement at all with to be honest, vast majority of MiSTer FPGAs, right? Now, I know in the sandwich box I've got a fan, and that's what the kind of consensus is, and that's what I'll go with. So, you know, generally you'll be all right. I think my one's actually got a fan. I haven't opened it up yet, but I can see underneath the Retro Remake logo, there's like something the shape of a fan. So I'm pretty sure my one's got a fan. And when I touch it, obviously it doesn't run hot. Like it's nice hot. It's not like uncomfortable hot or anything, or something that you think, oh, this is a bit hot. Nothing to be concerned about. Right, let's have a look at it. So we got Geo Body. Yeah, that was what I was wondering too. I wanted to know if every Saturn game only a Saturn game with only one RAM module. Yeah, pretty much there's no game that doesn't work. Like I said, there's an advantage in Virtua Fighter. Oh, let me just say hello to Spitfire RAF, man. Wicked. Good of you. Love it when you show up there, buddy. And we've got Lunar Eclipse. Love the Sega Saturn in general. Mostly its show. Okay, wicked. Smog. Sounds like Smeg from Smeghead. I am here. You are here, buddy. So guys, also we're doing this stream in 4K, so there's going to be around 30 seconds of lag from when I'm saying something to when you get it, maybe even a little bit longer. So guys, going back to the dual SD RAM, single SD RAM now, I'm not ruling the whole thing out. Jinkman, how you doing? So for example, now I got into FPGA gaming for CPS2, right? I was quite happy with software emulation, guys. Like I was really happy with RetroArch, all the advances in software emulation, going back like 3-4 years now before I got a MiSTer. What happened was I went to a friend's house, I played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I played Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, and I was blown away. It's the only time it felt like I was playing in the arcade when I wasn't in the arcade or playing on arcade hardware. So now, for example, now if someone said to me, everything works perfect on single SD RAM, but on dual SD RAM, it's more accurate for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, then no questions asked, that's what I would have gone for, a dual SD RAM. So it depends on your love, what your requirements are, what you need, right? I can't if VF is your game and the slowdown that you may see is something that's going to bug you, then yeah, you know, you want to get a SD RAM. But I don't think most people are going to be like that. Like honestly, I am definitely content with my single SD RAM. So right now I've got a total of 4 MiSTer FPGAs. I've got the original one that I bought, where I bought an original DE10 Nano. Then I bought the rest of the parts from MiSTerFPGA.co.uk. Really good store, guys. Check it out. I'm not like associated with them or anything, but I have spoken to the guy and he's got excellent customer service. So I bought the parts from there, I put that together. That was my first MiSTer. Now my second MiSTer was a dual SD RAM MiSTer in an aluminium passive case from MiSTer Add-ons. I got that as part of a sponsorship deal. He was my sponsor on the channel for 2 years for the weekly news show. Then the third MiSTer I got was a MiSTer Pi, absolutely fantastic, on par with the previous 2 MiSTers. And the fourth MiSTer I got now is the SuperStation One. Now the one that I have set up like permanently, the one that if I had to take it out, I'd have to go in really pull out some wires, and it's, you know, when you put something in not to move, and you never want to take it out because it's going to be just a hassle moving all the wires, following the leads. And so I use my single SD RAM MiSTer the most. The only time the dual SD RAM comes out is honestly when I need to test the core. When I'm like, oh, there's a new Jaguar core. Oh, and it's currently working better on dual RAM, or it only works on dual RAM. I'll run that. Something comes out I want to test, and it is. I don't need 4 MiSTers. I'm happy with 1 MiSTer. Right, a 2 would have been all right actually, because one I would have had kind of stuck there, one to move around with me. Right, so. It's completely up to you, but guys, let's have a look at this now, guys. I do apologize in advance. Like, I've played Daytona many times, and I 100% suck at it, and I always forget what the accelerator button is, and I think it's going to be C, or I could be wrong. But guys, this is the Sega Saturn, right? If you've got your SuperStation One, you're gonna get, like, so for example, now you're gonna get a lot of nostalgia from games that you grew up with, that you're playing. You're gonna be like, wow, this is amazing, this is the best I've ever had. But you're gonna get introduced to new systems. Now the Sega Saturn is my new system that I discovered on this. I just absolutely freaking love it. I just think it's fantastic. Okay, so C's accelerating this. I did get it right this time. Yeah, it is just such a great system. Like, I never really played this growing up, and I played it, like, I remember playing Panzer Dragoon in advanced consoles on Carnaby Street, which is near Oxford Street, if anyone knows that. It's the one with all the rock t-shirts and stuff. There was on Carnaby Street, a road off it, there was a shop called Advanced Consoles. Really good shop, man. Missed the days of where we had really good shops with good gear and everything in there. And they had the Saturn on display with Panzer Dragoon. I played it and I was blown away. And apart from that, I never really played it. I got one traded in when I had my video game shop, but I didn't quite work out how to switch it on. I don't know what was up with it. I don't know if it was working or not working. I think I ended up getting rid of it when I sold my shop. But yeah, Saturn wasn't very popular over here. So honestly, I didn't think much of the system, because even the time the Saturn was out, there was a lot of 2D stuff for it, and we're like, nah, man, you know that time where everything, and I don't mean to sound bad here, but moving on from like the Super Nintendo onto the PlayStation generation, it was all about 3D. You could have the most beautiful 2D game, and you're like, what's this? This is just it's just a side-scroller 2D thing. No, we're all into 3D. That's what we want, right? And it's only the nostalgia that brought me back to that kind of brought me back to the 2D. Mind you, I did like Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation, so I did still appreciate a lot of 2D games. Street Fighter I never grew out of, but this was the jump to 3D, and everyone was kind of into 3D. So I never really gave the Saturn a look. I never really wanted to buy one, had one. None of my friends really had one, at least my close friends, where we used to go to each other's houses. So when I got my MiSTer FPGA and the Saturn core was being developed, and I started covering it, on this YouTube channel, where before it became like a staple for FPGA gaming, I was doing quite a lot of FPGA gaming on there. I got really into it, and man, the Saturn just blew me away, because getting so I always liked arcade games, right? So obviously, the times where the arcades were on the decline and PlayStation was out, I wasn't going that much. We were playing a lot of stuff at home. So when I got my nostalgia kick, like one of the first things I loved doing was, like when I first got into emulation, was loading up MAME and playing arcade games. And just, when you first get access to MAME, okay, that's really, I was going to say, what the heck happened there? It froze there. I was like, no, okay, it didn't, right? The game just ended there because I suck. So, when I got my nostalgia kick back and I started looking at arcade games and everything, I remember playing MAME, and pressing that coin button was just magic. It was like, whoa, like I can actually, like, this used to cost me money. And then all of a sudden, when I got my MiSTer, I looked at the Saturn and I looked at the amount of games on this system, and I was like, wow, like this is a system that I need to play more in. And it really, really got me into it. Right, guys, I'm happy to take requests. Any requests there, block capitals, guys. Block capitals, say nothing else. Just put the name of the game in block capitals. And when I scroll through chat to find stuff, it just makes it a little bit easier to find. So, make it a little bit easier for me. So there's lots and lots of 2D games that I like. But let's have a look. So right, okay, you know what? Let's go straight for the jugular, right? Jugular vein. So let's go to Virtua Fighter. Let's go to a cutting edge one, Virtua Fighter 2, right? So guys, if you're also anyone new to a SuperStation One, if you're new to MiSTer FPGA, if you've got CHD as your games, which I have to save space, when you go to launch it, it won't launch straight away. This is just something on the MiSTer. So what you do is you bring up the menu again and you go for a reset, and then it will launch the game that you have selected. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying this video, then press that like button. Do it for beautiful Coin-Up Karen there, who is fighting the Terminator for your love. Those jokes never get old. I need to come out with some new jokes. So, I'm going to do a few rounds of Virtua Fighter. Now, I'm not going to be great at this game. I just never really got into this. I never really got into 3D. I did a little bit, played a bit of Soul Calibur. The only Tekken I did dabble in Tekken, but I never really had the competition on this. I'm a 2D guy, generally speaking. 3D is not my main thing, but yeah, have a look at this. Anyone that was kind of asking and they were saying, hey, what's up with like all the 3D stuff? Have a look at this. I like the soundtrack for this as well, by the way, guys. So, okay, so guys, it's running superb. So far, with the SuperStation One, most of the stuff, I haven't really played this where I've played this by myself. And in all honesty, where I am in my life now, most of my gaming on the MiSTer is done when I'm filming. The only time I actually play the MiSTer when I'm not filming is if a friend comes around, or I take my MiSTer out with a portable screen, usually in case my friend's TV has lag, because a lot of them don't game like they used to. And that's the only time I actually game, and it's usually like the CPS1, CPS2 core, the Neo Geo core, a lot of versus stuff that we end up playing. So, but so far in all the streams that I've done, and again, that's why I like getting in the streams first, because there's nothing that you can hide. If something was to go wrong here, like where I thought, oh no, Daytona crashed, it didn't. It just had that little pause before it tells me I suck and it's game over, right? So yeah, it's been absolutely flawless. And I know there's been some waiting times on this and some people are getting annoyed. And I get that, you buy something, there's delays in there. But I always say to people, like for example, now I've got the Game Bub on pre-order. It was supposed to be with me, was it March or April or February? And then it got pushed back to like May. But okay, so this isn't really an excuse for anyone, but I've always told myself that with retro gaming now, anything that I pre-order, I hope for the best, but I do put in there that a delay could happen, right? Because I don't want to be disappointed. You know, when you tell a kid you're going to get them this and they don't get it, they get disappointed. I don't want to be that kid. I'm 48 years old. So, but I would still say, as long as you can wait and you're willing to wait and you're not in a hurry and you want a second MiSTer, or even if you want a first MiSTer and you're not in a major hurry, get this. Out of every single MiSTer I've tried, and I honestly believe out of every single MiSTer that's available on the market, this is the best option. This is the best bang for buck. This is the best value. It's got the best visual outputs. I mean, I think it's got like 5 analog outputs that you can pump out simultaneously, man. That is freaking insane. As well as that, you've got the digital output that you can use as well. So this is the best you'll get. Now with my original MiSTer, in order to output to my PVM, what I had to do was I had to buy the mic SmoMo, and I can't remember what it's called, like active something adapter. I had to go out via VGA into this adapter, that adapter into S-Video, into my PVM. Well, guess what? As soon as I got the SuperStation One, I plugged in the S-Video cable, I plugged it into my PVM, and gosh, it just freaking works straight away. So honestly, this is the best thing on the market. And like I said, I've tried many and I like many. Like I like the MiSTer add-ons aluminium case, but how can I say to you guys, well, don't buy a SuperStation One for like whatever it is, Founders Edition, $150. Now, right now it's $200. Go and buy this thing for like $450 or $500 or $400 to $500. How can I tell you to buy something that's twice the cost or more? Even though I like both Tacky and I like both MiSTer add-ons, but the bottom line is we don't have limitless money and we have to go with what is the best value. And without a doubt, guys, this is the best value. That's like, it's not really an opinion in this case, it's a bloody fact. The 3D finish on it, the craftsmanship, it is just absolutely superb. I think it's got a watch mode. It's got, wicked, it's got a watch mode. So let's go here. I like the watch mode. I love it when they've got that in there. And you know what? It doesn't even let you pick the characters. It picks the characters for you. So guys, what you want to look at, for any VF people out there, now this is the VF engine running as if I was playing, as if two people were playing, or I was playing a computer, or the computer versus the computer. Now, when you get any slowdown in here, that's the slowdown in here. Now, if this is something that affects your game because you are a pro Virtua Fighter 2 player and you play it to a very, very high level where that degree of slowdown is really, really going to affect you, then you know that's the only thing that I can think why you may want to get like something else, right? Apart from that, like this thing is just dandy, and you can see it's running absolutely fine. When you're playing it, it's running superb. I remember when we were first testing out these cores, these things were running at like 20 frames a second, really, really slow. And as crazy as it sounds, I love broken cores. Like I speak to some developers and they're like, oh, I don't want to show it off, it's not in a state. And I'm like, just let me show it off, man. I love showing it in the state that it is. A really cool one like that is a Wicker Whacker. He likes it where you can see like where it was and where his core ends up being. Robert Pape's another one, sharing all the builds for the Nintendo 64 core. Hatego, sometimes I can try and convince him if I really want a game. Like Shadow Dancer was like the last one. I think we did it with X-Men as well, but with Shadow Dancer I was like, look man, I don't care about the backgrounds, let me just play it, let's just run it. It's really interesting because it gives everyone an appreciation of where we were, what happened at the beginning, and where we are or where we go to at the very bloody end. It is just absolutely amazing. I love seeing the journey. I love seeing it, and it's just a great document. Like if you go back on the channel and look at all the N64 videos, you'll see it where you'll see Mario Kart where we're racing around in like black squares on a stage where we've got weird graphics, everything's garbled up and whatnot, right? But in the end, we get like an excellent core. So that stuff is really, really cool. Right, let me have a look at the chat. But in the meantime, let me take a sip of my drink because I am speaking like more mouth. Yo, PlayStation Cat in the house, which is over so zen. Guys, it's so difficult to remember when people have multiple usernames. They have one on YouTube, they have one on X, and I'm speaking to them. And it's very difficult to keep up, man. On things like Discord, I actually keep notes on people because sometimes I want to speak to someone for a year and I've had like full-blown conversations with them. And I'm like, man, who is this person? I don't remember. And I'll be like, oh, this person's really nice. Like they pinged me and said, oh, Pixel, have you seen this? And it'll just be a reminder of what my interaction with that person's been. Right, let's take a little sip of this drink. And I have got an energy drink today, and I don't usually drink them, but I think this is why I'm speaking so damn fast. Oh, that was nice. I have a peach flavor one. Yo, Nathan Atrial in the house. Okay, so a little wow, there's a lot of chat. You guys are busy, guys. I'm really sorry if I missed it. Yo, Ronin, good evening to you as well, buddy. I've just seen that as well. Okay, yo, Viper's not working. Is that fighting Vipers? No problem. We can check that out. 100% it works. It works on my other single SD RAM. MiSTer, yo, my bro from another Mo. Hey, Anime Otaku's in the house. Hey, doing good evening, man. I know you've got to pop out, Anime, so as long as we got you, we got you. Wicked Game Lord ABD. Okay, ones apparently don't work 100% like Virtua Fighter 2. Yep, we've got that Fighting Vipers and Last Bronx, right? Just you may need to remind me of the names, but we'll go Fighting Vipers, we'll go Last Bronx. I really do love that this just fights by itself, because that is just absolutely amazing. And guys, if you are enjoying the stream, press that like button. It really helps out. Help a brother out. Nate's in Atrial in the house. How are you doing, buddy? Ronin. RGB, 2X, okay, wicked. Man, I need to play my Dreamcast more, man. All these bloody tech with analog 3D, and there's good stuff happening with the analog 3D with like their firmware updates and stuff. It looks like they're bringing the game onto the M64, so I end up covering that because it's more current. But I need to play more Dreamcast. Yeah. So PlayStation Cat, I do intend to order one. I know a lot of people on the channel dislike Mod Retro, and I completely get that. But hey, I'm here to cover the product, not the person. Even though, you know, the person is very, very disliked by, I'd say, like probably the majority of the viewers on this channel and in general. But it's tech. I like the developer behind it, Robert Pape. So I am going to order one when it comes out. I've not been offered the review unit or anything like that, but so I'll just be buying it like a consumer thing. So let's see what happens. Oh, Peach, I could eat Peach for hours. That's what she said. Absolutely brilliant. Saturn absolutely rocks. Big Jaffa in the house. How you doing there, buddy? Reverend Knight Ronin 167. Let's have a look. Okay, I've got friends with PVM. I prefer. Do you know what? So Revenant Knight, I have to agree with you with that, right? I prefer a consumer CRT over a PVM, and I'll tell you why. Because when I grew up, I never bloody had a PVM, right? The image quality I had, the clarity, the amazingness that is a PVM, I didn't have it. So as much as I like it, it gives me zero nostalgia. Like, well, not zero, maybe like much less nostalgia than a TV. Whereas the consumer TV, when I plug something into it, when I look at something running on a consumer TV, it takes me back to when I was a kid. It takes me back to when my mum was watching Wimbledon, the whole tennis thing, and I had to wait for it to finish. Her and my aunt were watching it, so I could have access to the TV to play like my PC Engine. So yeah, I really love my PVM. A friend of mine gave it to me, and it's small enough to fit on my desk. Unfortunately, I don't have space for a consumer TV in my setup. Like I've made the most out of a tiny space. In fact, the SuperStation One cannot permanently go in my setup, because I'm still going to keep my original MiSTer, because it's just set up with all the wires really, really neatly tucked in. So I don't want to take that out. The SuperStation One is going to be my roaming one. I may put it in the front room. I'll encourage the kids to play it. They're not going to play it. But yeah, man, I can't get it in there. So I've got that PVM and I like it. I like looking at it once in a while. But yeah, I would absolutely love to have a consumer TRT somewhere, man. Maybe when my kids get older and I become an old man, I'll get a consumer one. I have got one in my shed, but yeah, I just can't really use it. Matthew in the house, how you doing, guys? Matthew is freaking awesome. So Matthew, I am using the Morph4K, but guess what? I've not gone direct video this time. I've actually gone. Did you test? No, we'll do that. We'll go to that in just a second. So what I've done is I've actually gone the MiSTer's in 1080p, and I'm upscaling that to 4K instead of going via direct video. And the reason for that is, because there's a lot of new people watching here that don't really know MiSTer, don't really know SuperStation One. What happens is, when I'm going through direct video and I go into like a menu, I make some changes, the text goes funny a little bit, and that's because obviously it's changing from the different signals and the more 4K is adapting. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to set the impression that there's something wrong with the SuperStation One, there's something wrong with the Morph. So when I do it all in 1080p, I don't have the issues with the menu. So even in 1080p to 4K, it looks great. But by the way, guys, the image that you're seeing here, upscaled to 4K, you can actually get better than this, right? Even though this looks absolutely superb, but the reason I've not done it is because I don't want anything looking out of place, and I don't want people going away thinking something is defective, either with the SuperStation One or the Morph 4K, the Morph 4K, the PixelFX upscaler. Right, okay, let's have a look. Just, okay, that's Dead or Alive 2, right? So what did we say we're gonna go next? Let me move away from chat, because if I'm here, then I'll be here for a while. So what was the next one? It was Fighting Vipers, wasn't it? And Last Bronx, and we're gonna do Dead or Alive. So let's go Fighting Vipers. Fighting Vipers. Oh, here we are, right on there. Excellent. So guys, remember, if you've got CHDs and you go to load a game, don't be like, oh no, my game's not working. Go back into the menu and give it a reset, right? Once you give it a reset, the game will load up. You may get an occasion where you may have to reset it again or load the game again, but that's the nature of CHDs, just the way they work. The first time I did it on stream, I'm like, oh man, it's not working. And I'll do that reset, and it works for me every time. Now, I did originally have bin Q files, but Anime Otaku convinced me to go CHD, and that was the right move for this, because we can save a lot of space. And I really do hope this has got a watch mode. Give me, oh, is it a playback mode? No. So playback mode, is that replays or playback recorded or exhibition match? Okay. Oh, okay, that's really cool. So I don't know if that's recorded or I can just watch that stuff there. Okay, Tokyo versus Jane. Okay, let's do this. I don't know what these are here. Did these come with the game and they're saved? So guys, look, if you're into the fighting games, look for anything that may look odd to you. And this isn't the SuperStation One. This is the MiSTer. This is the single RAM core. Now, look. This is playback actually. This is looking a little bit slow to me, you know, guys. I have to say this is looking slow. So I'm gonna actually try and play the game instead of doing playback, so we can actually see what it looks like when you actually play the game. So let's have a look. Hey guys, we've got 88 people watching. Smash that like button, guys. Do it for a beautiful Karen, and she'll make you a lovely tea bag, and she won't even fart out a heart. The Italian, okay. Right, let's get back out somehow. Okay, that's back out. Right, let me play this now, because that definitely felt slow, right? And so this is going to be performing as exactly. No, so how do we get out of here? I want to get out of here. Okay, is it B to go back? C to go back? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do something easy here. Just going to give it a quick reset, and hopefully that will just reset the game. So yeah, guys, what we're seeing here isn't anything that's like, oh, it's the SuperStation One that's inferior. In all the testing that I've done, everything that I've run, it is exactly the same as my original DE10 Nano. This is something that, this is going to be the slight advantage that you may get with dual SD RAM compared to single SD RAM, and it's only limited to a few games. So we've gone into the deep end, guys. There's plenty of stuff that we can have a look at. Tokyo, how you doing there, babe? Okay, let's see what happens, right? So that replay did look like it was running slow. Again, I'm not familiar with this game. I think I played the sequel to this on the Dreamcast. I mean, I don't know about you guys. This feels slow to me. So this feels slow to me. So maybe on dual SD RAM, this might be something that runs better. I can't remember, because yeah, I remember playing like a version of this on the Dreamcast, right? This is the one where all different characters from different games are in. Is that the Fighting Vipers one? I think that's the one where you can be the boy with the BMX and whatnot. But yeah, this definitely feels slow. It doesn't feel, unless the game's like this, which I doubt, right? So here you go, guys. If your whole purpose for getting a MiSTer FPGA is this game here, then a dual RAM setup may be the one for you. Another reason for getting, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Matthew, this is one of the ones that is slower, right? So another reason for getting dual SD RAM would be, okay, so you'll have the advantage of not getting slowed down or getting better performance in difficult games like this compared to single SD RAM. But the other advantage is if you're not going to output to an analog display at all, or simultaneously with a with HDMI, so no analog and HDMI together, then you can buy the dual SD RAM version just in order to well, you know, you're not gonna use the analog output, so you might as well go dual RAM. A friend of mine got their one like that. That was the logic behind it, right? What was the other game? Last Bronx. I mean, this is pretty clear. Sorry, that this is running slow. Sorry, guys, I have paused it there because I've got a 2-button combo for that. Don't know why I keep going there. So the other one was Last Bronx, right? Last Bronx. Okay, let's give it a little thing here. Okay, let me have a look at some of the chat while that loads up. I do absolutely love the BIOS logo. Brilliant. I love it when Karen goes on top with a little Mars into a heart thing as well. Yeah, wicked. Oh, you play on a real Saturn. There you go, man. So that's interesting. Matthew, do you play that against other players, other people, or do you play that with yourself? Fighters Mega. Ah, yes. It wasn't Fight. It was Fighters Megamix that I was thinking of, where it's got people from all different games. Okay, good. I'm so glad it's got a watch mode. So again, we'll see the watch mode. Lisa versus Tommy. Okay, so let's have a look at this now. So we're going to see if this. I prefer the European setup. Oh, I can't remember which one I've got. I've got like the High Hitachi one or whatever. I've been using that. So there's actually a hacked BIOS, and I'm not sure if that's the one that comes in via update tool. So there is a hacked BIOS. Okay, so this looks slow to me as well, guys. So there you go. This is where. So it's these 3D fighting games. If these are your games, now these could be your games. Like I said, if Super Turbo and if CPS1 and CPS2 had issues with single SD RAM, then a dual SD RAM would be my main MiSTer FPGA. Because I only play these in passing, I'm not really that fussed about it. I never played these games growing up. I don't know the strategies. I don't exactly know how these games work or how these games. I had to play them properly, so I can live without having access to these. So this is for anyone out there that is thinking of getting a SuperStation One. I still stand by that SuperStation One is the best MiSTer FPGA purchase you can make. Overall value, the whole shebang, but obviously the limitations of the actual DE10 Nano and with single SD RAM are what they are. These aren't something that the SuperStation will be able to overcome. These are just something that have been better optimized on a dual RAM MiSTer FPGA. By the way, just for the record as well, the vast majority of people, I'd even say like at least 90% of people have a MiSTer FPGA with a single stick of SD RAM. And this is just based on the conversations and everything I've had with people around. So the other one was Fighters Megamix. So let's go here, Fighters Megamix, again, go for that reset. And we're going to see if there's a watch mode in here. Guys, so we're showing exactly what the limitations of the MiSTer FPGA project are with single SD RAM. So just want to give the main takeaway here. This isn't reflective of the SuperStation One, or this isn't anything that's exclusive to the SuperStation One. This is something that happens on every single SD RAM MiSTer FPGA. It's just what it is. But the reason we're showing you this is because we've had a lot of chatter about this. A lot of people have said, oh, it doesn't work, but it does work. The Saturn does work, and these are the ones that are going to be difficult. So after this, we're going to do Dead or Alive, and after Dead or Alive, we're going to move over to games because we want to have a look at games. There's lots of games that work really, really well. So haven't unlocked the car yet, but let's go. Let's go Sarah, a little bit of VF, and we go in here. We'll go Corsair. From what I recall, this one might have been okay, guys. This one might have been okay. Fantastic. I've been following. Oh, wicked, man. Oh, thank you so much. Rose Colorado Games, is it? Cool. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is slow as well. So VF2, in the grand scheme of things, Virtua Fighter 2 actually runs the best out of all the ones we've tried. This is definitely slow. I mean, look at it. It's slow. So guys, you know, as we're talking about this, if the main reason you are getting into MiSTer FPGA, and I'll say MiSTer FPGA because SuperStation One is a MiSTer FPGA, if you're getting into MiSTer FPGA gaming because of 3D fighters on the SEGA Saturn, then you may want to invest in a dual SD RAM setup. Have a look at your options that are available for you and go for the first one. But this is going to be like, I'd actually say that out of people buying a SuperStation One, it might be like 1%. It'll be a tiny amount, right? Because most people aren't going to be into, well, these fighting games. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the number's higher. I'm just talking from my own personal experience. I do know people that play Virtua Fighter, but it's the minority of my friends. Out of my friends that we used to go arcade and play Street Fighter, like let's say like 100 people that I played with regularly, and I know that sounds like a big number. When you go to arcade and events, there's a whole scene. There's lots and lots of people that you kind of come across and you play, right? Yeah, so there's a whole load of them. So out of those people, there was like 3 people. Ryan Hart was one of them. Another one was a guy called The Prince, also known as Hatim, and a friend of ours called Jason. Those were the 3 guys that played Virtua Fighter out of all the guys that I played on. I think some other people dabbled when it came out on the Xbox 360. Where's Dead or Alive? It must have been a different folder. Did it only come out in Japan? Yeah, so there was only here we go, Dead or Alive. So there was only a handful of people I know that played it. So I don't know how much this will affect you guys out there. So right, look, the dual RAM core doesn't have these issues, unfortunately. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. So the SuperStation One, like Matthew's saying there, it doesn't have dual SD RAM, but there's no option for it to have dual SD RAM as well, and that's a decision that's been made. It's a business decision. It's a decision that, you know, the vast majority of people, they don't use dual SD RAM. That's, you know, if dual SD RAM was a big requirement, then I wouldn't have the single SD RAM one set up. In fact, all I need to do to actually do that is, if I pull out every wire, the wires are the same for the MiSTer add-ons one with dual SD RAM that I've got. I'd have that as my permanent one. I guess it almost makes sense to have a dual SD RAM permanent for me, because if I had it as a permanent one, it just means I've got single and dual SD RAM cores ready to go. But because dual RAM doesn't come around that often, and there's not that much, at least that I consider important, I just have to put it on specifically for stuff. Oh, Dragon Force, you know what, Reverend Knight? If that's an RPG, I'm going to refrain from that one, because I think that one there always gets me, like, it basically demonetizes my video, because it's either the sound or the video, it just flags up for copyright, man. And I think Dragon Force is one of those games. So I do appreciate how you've put that in block capitals. And anyone out there, if you saw how we put it in there, I think it might have gone from chat now, is it? No, Dragon Force. You see Dragon Force in chat? The way Reverend Knight has put it in chat there, put it like that in chat, and I will run that game, man. I will run that game. There's just a few Saturn games that I know of. Okay, right. So let's run it. So there's a few Saturn games that I know that just always flag up for copyright for either the soundtrack or like some visuals. Fist of the North Star's terrible, man. If I bring that game out even slightly, then yeah, it just copyright things start flying, man. What's this? Nice, I'm hesitant to give up the contrast in black. Oh wow, okay. Guys, this is running okay. I mean, any Dead or Alive experts here, but this is, I'm doing the combat and it's feeling fluid. Do you know, I really like the version on the 3DS. I thought the 3DS version of Dead or Alive was fantastic, man. You could play it online as well. I actually learned Ryu Hayabusa pretty well, man. I learned like some combos, man. I can't remember them, but yeah, it was good. Dead or Alive is a really good game, man. It is literally like a rock, paper, scissors, or what do we call it here? Spud first change, right? Spud first change. You know what? So you know rock, paper, scissors that people know, like in the USA, rock, paper, scissors. In the UK, as kids, we used to call it spud first change. Spud because you hold your hand like the rock, and that looks like a spud, which is a potato, and it's spud first change. And then you change it either to obviously spud again, being the potato, or the rock, the scissors, or the paper. Oh, okay, you see that slow down there? We got a little bit of slow down there. As I kind of started the round, when he done his first move, he slowed down a bit there. So there you go, guys. Right, okay, after this one, whether I win or... Oh, wow, look at that. And the kind of explosion there. Now, the explosion there, where it slows down there, I don't know this game well enough to know. I don't know, Matthew, if you know it well enough. Oh, yeah, Alpha 2, definitely, dude. Fallen Rascal, we can do that next. Yeah, so I don't know if there'll be some slowdown on actual hardware as well, because I know with some fighting games, there is slowdown. Like, for example, Street Fighter slows down quite a bit with certain moves. And you kind of got used to playing that way by actually... Right, let's put on Street Fighter Alpha 2. Right, so let's have a look. Here we go, 02. So yeah, so with Street Fighter there's some slowdown, and that slowdown, for example, like a Grego 2D, he's made some fixes where that slowdown's completely gone, and honestly I don't like playing it like that, because I like the slowdown. I'm used to the slowdown in Street Fighter. I remember like playing, and when the slowdown comes in, you're really like mashing out that dragon. With a charge character, the slowdown's more annoying because you can't kind of, once you let go of your charge is kind of gone, right? But yeah, with a motion character, you're spamming the move, and sometimes you'll be able to get a move out where you wouldn't be able to get it. So I kind of like that slowdown. I grew up with it. I like it, and I never want to change it. However, I do like the option there for anyone that wants it, someone that is maybe newly getting into the game. They're like, oh, you know what? I'd rather get rid of that slowdown. Yeah, for me, it's a big part of the game. Yeah, it's not that slow on real hardware, but it seems faster than my single RAM MiSTer. Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, so there you go, guys. So that's what you're gonna get when you get single SD RAM. But guys, it's on the Sega Saturn core. All the other cores, so we're talking like all the 8 and 16-bit cores, no issues. The Nintendo 64 core, no issues. The PlayStation core, again, no advantages with dual SD RAM. With the Sega Saturn, there are some advantages, but guys, you just never know. You just never ever know what could happen in the future, whether something gets optimized and single SD RAM and dual SD RAM are on par with one another. Yo, Yak Mage, how you doing, man? Thank you for dropping by, man. Do you know what? Everyone always gets that. They call me CPN instead of PCN. Even my friend, one of my best friends, he calls my channel Cherry Pixel Ninja. And honestly, I've heard it so much, I actually kind of like it. So instead of Pixel Cherry Ninja, I like Cherry Pixel Ninja because it kind of reminds me of Cherry Coke. And Cherry Coke is just such a brilliant darn drink. Man, these Street Fighter intros are bloody epic, man. Absolutely love them. Oh, a little bit of a peach drink. And guys, aesthetically, man, this SuperStation One is so pretty. Even my wife, she saw it, she goes, wow. She goes, that's a really pretty console. And I was like, damn it, woman, it's not supposed to be pretty, it's supposed to be functional. How dare you? And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm only cooking, babe. I'm only joking, babes. How you doing? Yeah, and then she gave me like a funny look. But man, she's been making me this lemonade, but I didn't want to bug her before this. I didn't want to say to her, can you make me lemonade in 5 minutes? I've got a stream starting because then I annoy my wife. And, you know, Mrs. Pixel's cool. I'm doing a stream on a work night. PCN rings better. Well, here's the funny thing, right? So PCN, Pixel Cherry Ninja. When I came up with my channel name, all I wanted was something unique. So if you put those 3 words into search, Google anywhere, it just comes up, right? So I was like, well, I like pixel art games. I like cherries, and who doesn't like ninjas? Wicked. But guess what, guys? Yeah, I got a parking ticket, and on that, on the big letter, it said PCN, and I thought, damn it, I'm famous, man. They know who I am. They've sent a letter to my house. They know PCN. And guess what? When I opened that damn letter, it said you have a penalty charge notice. A penalty charge notice. PC bloody N. I just couldn't believe it. I thought I have everything there. I have got a penalty charge notice as my thing. VPN sounds better. Maybe it does, yeah, CPN, but Cherry Pixel Ninja, I don't think I could swap it around now. I'm all right, right? So, look, like, I've been called many different names, man. It's hilarious, some of the stuff here, right? Let's go arcade and let's do a bout of this. Right, this 8-bit Dowdle controller, guys, when I try and do a Hadouken, I always kind of catch the top corner, so my characters end up jumping a little bit as well. Let's see, okay, let's go Sakura. Okay, yeah, here we go. Oh, look, that was really quiet. Right, we got here Zero Alpha, have the, oh man, absolutely, Nathan Atrio, man, the Alpha games, wow. I mean, have they aged so well? Wow. So you know when we get PC ports of like Nintendo 64 games, and I was like, wow, these are amazing, right? See, okay, so yeah, when we get PC ports of Nintendo 64 games, like for example, Star Fox, Banjo-Kazooie, like Mario Kart, for me, they're the best way of playing this game. But you know what? I keep kind of trying to do a dive kick like CVS. So, yeah, man, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so like, I like the PC ports that we get. I really like them. But if someone said, hey, there's a PC port of like this game here, I'll be like really not interested. You know, I'm really happy with what we have. I'm happy with the FPGA cores we got. You know, unless there was some significant advantage. Okay, Sakura Babes has done it. Gonna start my YouTube channel and call it Penalty Charge Notice. You should do it, indeedy, man. Hey, PixelFX, does the SuperStation One have Bluetooth support? I can't seem to find any. Yes, yes, and yes. So that is Sprite Kingdom 2. Yes, and on the previous stream, I think the last stream that we did, I actually connected 4 controllers simultaneously to it, right? So with Bluetooth, if you've got 4 Bluetooth controllers, you can connect them simultaneously to the SuperStation One out of the box, nothing additional required. And guess what? Cowabunga, you can actually play 4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh wow, you've got a lot of time to get that standing light kick in, man. I was doing it quicker before and it wasn't working. Yeah, so the Wi-Fi on there just works superb as well. I did a video like a starter guide. It's kind of worth watching that. It talks you through a lot of the stuff that I tried to make it so for anyone that doesn't know it, I love the I can't seem to have the custom combo. Oh, that's it. Right, hard punch and hard kick for custom combo. And guys, these games are great on there. But you know what? We've got, like, if you're going to play stuff like Alpha, the Alpha games, play the CPS2 core, man, from Hervieux. Absolutely superb. The 4K transfers look great, man. I need to get them. Okay. Oh, that's really awesome. I have the Unlock 3D. I'm waiting for those features to come. Guys, you know what? Look, Analog have been doing good recently with their firmware updates. Yeah, just expect good things. Expect good things from Analog. They've pulled their stocks up, man. Which one good thing about Mod Retro, even if people don't like them, it's really got Analog to up their game. Okay, I love the stages for this, man. Look at that, like, you know, you've got all the elephants in the background and stuff. It is just crazy. Hey, okay, right, have we got a 4K? You know what, yeah, so the 4K in here, I've gone from 1080p, I was just saying, because I don't want the menus to look funny when I go through direct video, and I don't want people to get the wrong impression about the SuperStation One. I'm quite happy to show what the weaknesses are when it comes to something like the Saturn core. But guys, don't think that's like anything that's putting this core down, this device down. This is the best MiSTer FPGA you can get. I've tried a few. I've covered them extensively on the channel for like a number of years. You know what? This literally is the best you can. This is the best way you can spend your money on a MiSTer FPGA. The only thing is if you want to play those 3D fighters, that's it. If you're getting it for 3D Saturn fighters in particular, then yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's the only reason why. If you're not too fussed about the 3D fighters, then there isn't really anything that's going to bug you on that, right? It's all dandy. Oh, I'm not a fan of the Analog 3D. The lack of support for third-party cores was a waste in my opinion. I think, yeah, do you know what? So you know what, Matthew, right? What I'm actually hoping is, sorry, is that loaded there? Do I need to do a reset? So what I think is, and again, this is just speculation, is I think, and I mean, if I was analog, man, I've been around for a long, you know, I've been around for a lot longer than M64. I just think like, all right, cool, you know what? This is what I'm gonna offer with my 3D. I'm gonna have ample stock like they have now. And then what I'm gonna do with that, right, let's have a look what's going on here. Let me try and load that again. So what I'm going to try and do is, what I would do if I was analog, I'd be like, well, you know what, M64, I would do whatever I could to ruin their launch and put everyone off it, right? That's just the world of business, right? That's business. Nothing personal there. I just think, well, all right, cool. You're going to give people an open side? Well, nothing to stop me giving an open side. As soon as they went, yes, we're ready to take pre-orders at this date, bang, all I will do is I go, here you go, have a Super Nintendo core, have a Mega Drive core, have all our cores on the Analog 3D, and I will make it the focus of what we're selling, and I'll sell lots and lots of them. But that is just how I would do it, right? I'd just be like, all right, cool, bring it on, because Analog 3D, like some of the guys that have got it, they're taking like kind of like indirect digs. It's quite funny at the M64. They're taking indirect digs like, oh look, you can got Wi-Fi updates, you can boot straight from cartridge. Well, Analog kind of responded to that, and you can boot from cartridge there, right? Okay, is there? Right, so yeah, you can boot straight into cart from the Analog 3D now. I mean, it didn't seem like that much of a biggie, but guys, I have to say, I love these console wars, man. It reminds me of a kid like Nintendo. Instead of Nintendo and Sega, you've now got Nintendo FPGA versus another Nintendo FPGA. So that's really, really interesting there. So I mean, it'll be fun to see where it goes. Exactly how okay, let's have a look. No, we don't want. Okay, I'm going to go semi-auto because I think semi-auto gives me one button for missiles and fire and don't have to spam two buttons. Hey guys, if you are enjoying the stream, then press that like button. It really, really does help. And guys, any games you want to see, just please mention them in chat. Oh no, it's picking all the options for me now. That's not semi-auto, it's I want proper. I guess I'm at the mercy of whatever this decides to give me. Oh, that's a nice looking laser. Well, that's interesting. That means one of my options has got a big laser, but the other has got this little P-shot thing. I actually played this game the other day on... you know what? I was trying to get that darn bell collector. Astle, no problem. Let's do that because I hate losing a life in this game. Let's go Astle. I might need to go into the USA folder. Here we go, Astle. Everyone really likes that game. It is a very, very stylish game though. It's like that big chunky thing down there. Good old Fantastic Journey. What a game. Oh, was that Fantastic Journey Parodius or something? I don't know. I would just call it Parodius. Let's have a look. I don't think they can technically open the Analog 3D because the FPGA run the core secure, which means they have to be... okay. No, so Matthew, sorry. Let me kind of rephrase that. I don't think they're gonna open it in that way. What I'm saying is, so Analog have got a NES core, they've got a Mega Drive core, they've got a Super Nintendo core, and they've got a PC Engine core, right? They've also got a Neo Geo Pocket core, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Game Gear, Atari Lynx, just to name a few, right? So what I would do is I would just make those cores, my cores, Analog's cores, available on the system as a middle finger to Mod Retro, just to be like, all right, cool, you want to come at us, you know, you want to come onto our territory, let's bring this game up, right? At least that's what I would do, unless obviously Analog have got their own targets. They're like, okay, cool, this is what we wanted out of the Analog 3D, we've achieved it, many people have bought it, they're happy with it, we're getting reoccurring sales, we're getting a steady number. So if that's what Analog kind of if that's their kind of end game and they've achieved it, then superb, you know, absolutely brilliant. But guys, if you are enjoying this stream, press that like button. It really does help out the channel. So let's do that. Let's do that. So guys, this is fantastic. Astal's a really good game. It's about this fat little stumpy dwarf kind of thing, and it rescues a bird, and the bird helps you. Oh, by the way, it's off topic, guys. I started watching a TV show called From. Wow, the first episode's been good. Yeah, it's good. Right near the end of it, man. Just wondering what's kind of going to happen. Look how beautiful this game is, man. Look, 10 out of 10 for what it looks like, right? I think that's when I get my bird, call my bird. Look at the way, look how stylish that is. Look at the way they jump from the background and the foreground. Wow, look at that. Powerful. Makes you think you can go. Oh, I just had to walk over it.
Get out of the way. If you're here to steal the bird, you have to get by me first.
Okay, we got the bird.
Quit following me.
I love that. That's so darn cool, man. Just amazing art for this game, man. It's just so darn good. Okay, we have done it, guys. Okay, that's interesting. So some ODEs, you have some issues with this game. Okay, interesting. I mean, the main ODE is the Saru, isn't it? Very cost effective. Oh, nice. Look at that. My bird is attacking. It's a very unique game. The feel, how you attack and everything, the way it feels is superb. Let me show you a game that I really like on this, and it's something, there's a few games, right? Let's where is it? It's not here. What will be in here? Maybe it's in Japan. Guys, this game is amazing, absolutely amazing. So this is on the Taito F3 hardware, and hopefully one day we'll get a MiSTer FPGA core. I know this is something that core developer Raki is kind of working on, but core developer Raki recently done some studying and stuff, so they were busy with that. I think they might still be studying. Really, really cool developer. They would actually donated an F3 board from Smoke Monster. You may remember Smoke Monster from the early days of the MiSTer FPGA. So they've donated a lot of their arcade hardware to FPGA core developers. So hopefully we'll see something from the F3. That'll be brilliant. Let's look. Can you get a... Let's have a look. Sorry, someone's asking. Let me have a look. It's going to... Okay, cool. Someone's saying, can you get a tutorial done for MiSTer Pi for a larger SD card? I do actually intend to do that. And if anyone Taku's around, it's usually like me and him that do this stuff together. So that'll be interesting. I do intend to do that. I think what I'm going to do first of all is I want to do one to just say to get like the maximum out of your 64 gig card. So the 64 gig card that you get with it, add like the 8 and 16-bit systems, and you'll be able to add all of them on there. And then with the space that you got left, be selective. So for example, like you can probably put like your top 20, 25, whatever N64 games. But when it comes to CD-based systems like PlayStation, Saturn, and stuff like the Mega CD, PC Engine CD, you can pick like 2 or 3 games from each system. Just a good way to kind of fill up that card for anyone that's not going to buy a card straight away. And once you buy a card, obviously you can go through the process, you can copy the files over. The SuperStation One comes with very, very good options already on the SD card. So what I would actually recommend to anyone out there is make a backup of the files that you get with it. Just make a backup of it. Just literally Control A, copy everything, put it on a folder on your PC, back it up to the cloud if you want, wherever you want. Back that stuff up, and if you ever, anything happens to your SD card or whatever, you can just go to MiSTer Fusion again, and once you've got the SD card ready, you can copy those files over. Like, it's really good. Strongly recommend that. So yeah, this game is just superb. Look at it, man. It just looks, it's like a dream come true. I mean, the name Elevator Action, right? It doesn't really give you a lot of hope that this game is going to be good. I mean, how much action can you have in an elevator? Actually, you know what, in my day, I've definitely seen some action in elevators, but it's been other people doing the action, me just witnessing some of it, like involuntarily. Right, let's give this a go. This game is superb. Car, Eddie, or Jad? We're gonna go car. I usually go Eddie. Eddie. Crush the old order. Yeah, let's crush them. Is there an update all 2 for SuperStation? Like, yes, there is. Check out the last video. Who's that? Hijinks. Check out the last video, and it will show you a really easy way to get set up. Like, really, really easy. Really, it's never been easier. So check out the last video called the SuperStation One Ultimate Beginner's Guide or something like that. Like, what a game, guys. What a game. You've got like a roll button, I think. Is it? Oops. Should not have jumped there. Whoops, I need to go up and get the data. Oh, I was going to get crushed there. Look at that, got myself a nice weapon there. I love the way you like punch them when they go down. Look at the way they catch fire on there and everything as well, man. Then you get the little flashes down here. Look how stylish the end is now. Love this. Now remember testing this core out. Testing this core out, it was like I remember like there was issues with this, something would happen, the graphics, like there was a layer of it that would be missing. I mean, this is a really good darn game, but there's some other games, some really good games I want to show you guys. One is, oh, this game here, guys, it is like a dream come true. Like such a good shmup. What's the time? Wow, we've been going for like 1 hour and 5 minutes almost. So guys, this is going to be 2 hours maximum, an hour and a half to a 2 hour stream. Let's have a look. What's this? We'll check. Yeah, man, no, check it out. It's yeah, it talks. It's like the video I did earlier is specifically made if you just got SuperStation One and it's your first MiSTer. Right, that's the whole purpose of it. Because look, whenever I get a new device, I feel honestly, I feel overwhelmed. It's just a normal human thing that we all feel, right? We feel overwhelmed. It's like, what am I gonna do? There's so much out there. How am I gonna get this working on there? How am I gonna get that working on there? And you always end up thinking, oh man, it's so difficult. I remember getting my analog pocket and thinking, how am I gonna get every core on there? I remember getting my MiSTer, but on the MiSTer we've got like what is it? We've got yeah, we've got update tool that just takes care of all of it for you, man. It does a really good job, guys. This game is one of the best shmups I've played in my life, and I tried playing this on like on the PC on MAME, and there's a lot of latency in MAME. So what's really cool over here is the middle button will always fire up, but you can rotate your turret, see, and you can like C rotates it clockwise and A rotates it anti-clockwise. It just bloody works, and you've always got a fire going up. And I should have really fired that border. I wasn't paying attention there. So this game's on the SEGA STV hardware, which is arcade hardware based on the SEGA Saturn. And instead of loading via disc, they load via cartridges. So like all the loading times pretty much gone. And the games aren't identical. Often you get different soundtracks because on the Saturn you'll get CD quality soundtrack, and on STV the soundtrack will be slightly different. Not to say it's inferior or anything. Both of them are really good. Like for example, Cotton 2 has a great soundtrack on both the STV and the SEGA Saturn. Even though I have to say, I think for Guardian Force I prefer the arcade soundtrack. However, on the Saturn, the controls, because it's a console and the buttons are always the same, they work alright. Whereas for the arcade, I have to kind of go in and tweak the controls a bit just to make sure I've got the right ones. So what's really cool as well now is I've got my fire here. Once this kind of goes in, let me do my special fire. Look at that. Is that game over? All right, that is game over there, guys. But that's a very good game. You play. Oh, I love Outzone, man. It's I used to play that a lot in the arcade. Very difficult. You can't hang around in that. Your energy always goes down. But yeah, I absolutely love that, man. That's an arcade core. We've got that for the MiSTer, by the way, guys. And yeah, Outzone's available for the MiSTer FPGA. Right, let's. Nope, okay, not here, that's fine. Really good game, really good game. Very good soundtrack as well. Let's have a look. We're loading, there you go. So I've picked up the extended RAM. There you go, guys. So you can go between them. Oops. So you can see different choice here. So DRAM 4 megabytes, and then you've got different, you've got different options there. It's absolutely superb. This game is just wicked. It's one of the best shmups you'll ever play. Just absolutely brilliant. Soundtrack's so cool. turn it up a tad more. Right, here we go. Honestly, what a banging soundtrack. And a special shout out to my buddy Terminator 2K2 from the YouTube channel Chris's Retro Gaming. Guy has been helping with the channel for years. He really likes the cotton games. What a banger of a soundtrack, guys. I'll tell you, I've played this game quite a few times. I've never quite worked out all the power-ups, or what's the best order to get them in, or what's the best way to kind of use them. I just see it, I'll grab it. Up here we're gonna get the titty monster. Titty monster. Okay, tea time, guys. Who wants a nice cup of tea? Okay, this is a must try. Hey, yeah, cotton is so darn good, man. Ooh, someone said Gunbird and Batsugan. Absolutely, absolutely. I think maybe we should have a look at some of the 3D games as well, like Panzer Dragoon. Have you played? Oh yeah, I just saw my ping there. I love how you throw those spiders with like the web attached. Whoops. Man, I like to eat pumpkins and now a pumpkin has eaten me. Okay, right, what was next? Someone said, what was it? Okay, Gunbird or Batsugan. Alright, let's go Gunbird. Gunbird's a really interesting game. I kind of had it on the PS Vita, if I remember correctly. Not the PS Vita, sorry, maybe the PSP. You know what, guys? I so regret selling my PS Vita TV, only because, like, now that I'm streaming, I'd love to, like, do some Vita via that, but I don't have it. When I'm looking at the prices, man, they've gone. I sold mine for like £30 ages ago, just because I thought I'd never use it, and rightfully so, I wouldn't. I'd rather just use a PS Vita like as a handheld. But you know, if I had that, I'd love to stream some like random PS Vita games. You know, love the PS Vita. Think the PS Vita is just such a darn good machine. You know. Yeah, so yeah, at the moment, sorry, the PlayStation One is only snack ports work with that. Yeah, that's cool. So they don't work in the menu at the moment. I know when it comes to console mode, the operating system, sorry, the front end, sorry, should I say? I know they're working on a beta over on Taki's Discord. You can probably get involved if you've either got a MiSTer Pi SuperStation or you've got a SuperStation One on order, then you can probably get involved in the testing. It'll work on any MiSTer, so you might want to check that out. Right, okay, so Gunbird, original mode, arcade mode. Let's go original mode. You know what, guys? No, let's put it on. We'll put it on the middle for not too easy. Oh man, yeah, Nathan, I've got like 2 PS Vitas and I kind of got rid of. Yeah, I got rid of it, man. I was kind of gutted, you know. Living on the cotton kind of thing here will be a little witcher and a little bunny and a broomstick. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, press that like button. It really helps out. Yeah, I'm really gutted that I got rid of it. Really gutted. Especially like I bought it for, you know what it was, is like back then I had the kind of mentality where I paid like, I got it for really cheap. I got it for like £35 and I kind of hacked it, you know, put in the custom firmware or whatever. And what happened was, when I played it connected to a TV and I put emulators on there, it felt quite laggy via, yeah, it just felt laggy when I played it. And I was like, okay, the emulation isn't great. However, the native PS Vita games and just PSP games, I mean, if I can get one for cheap, if anyone knows one for like around the £50 or under mark, or you've got one, then yeah, get in touch with me, man. If you've got a spare one at a reasonable price, I'll gladly take it. If you've got one that's already got custom firmware on there, then that'll be even more amazing. It will save me doing the work. I want to be able to stream some Vita stuff, man. I'm not going to do like a massive amount of it, but I wouldn't mind like doing just a little bit. You know, going out there and thinking, oh, you know what? Let me run some of the games. Stuff like Killzone, Hotline Miami comes to mind. Some of the 2D stuff. I mean, it's available and other stuff that would be nice to see on there. Stuff like Gravity Rush. There were some really cool games on there, and all of the PSP catalog. It'd be nice to kind of run it into a TV. Now I know I can get a lead and output it, but I'd rather get a clean HDMI signal and then upscale that to 4K. So if anyone's got one, you're in the UK and you're looking to sell one at a reasonable price, I'm quite happy to pay for it. Especially if you've got it modded as well, that'll be brilliant. You know, with that, what was it, the SD to Vita mod. I know I've got that for my normal Vitas, but yeah, it'll be nice to it really will be nice to do like a stream. And that's it. It's not like I want to do lots of streams. I'll probably just do one and leave it, but it's a kind of device that I regret like kind of getting rid of. Oof. Okay, that is game over. So the other one was Batsugan that someone said. Okay, let's go. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, no man, it works. Yeah, like, guys, like everything works on this. It's only those 3D fighters that we kind of had a look at from the beginning. That's it. Apart from that, everything works tip top, like no issues with anything whatsoever. Wording seemed like, ooh. So guys, yeah, M64 looks like crap. The actual designer, yeah, I mean, it looks like Etch-a-Sketch, but in all honesty, it's cool. Like, it's nice to have something that looks nice, but that's cool. I'm not too fussed about the design. If it performs well, it performs well, you know. Yeah. I could live with design. No kind of issues there whatsoever. Right, let's run this. You got the Rocker team. Rock and roll. That's Shawn Michaels from the Rockers. Remember that dude? Right, honestly, guys, like Taki Udon, he's hit it out the park with this one, man. It's so darn good. And the guy, you know what? He's a very down-to-earth, humble guy, man. You know, very nice guy. Any interaction I've had with him has always been a good interaction. Guy's humble. You know, I actually really appreciate his time because look, in between me, my full-time job, my family, caring for an elderly relative, and doing YouTube in between, like I value my time, and that's why, guys, like I could do a lot more videos, right? So when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to monetization, that, you know, what I get every month. And you know what I get every month isn't life-changing, but it's a nice little bit of change that comes in, you know. And I'll give my wife half the money straight away because she puts up with a lot of my stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. But I'll tell you now, right? A live stream, like a 2-hour live stream, will earn not even a quarter of what a like 10-minute video will earn, right? But the 10-minute video is not as much fun to do as when I actually start streaming and I'm chatting to you guys and I'm going for all of that. So I really do enjoy doing it. So I definitely appreciate Taki's time because the guy's working on so many different things. You can see that he's hardly putting out YouTube videos, and that was, you know, he was known, he was a big YouTuber for what he did. I knew Taki Udon from Retro Gaming handhelds. So I'm a big fan of handheld gaming, that's no big secret. And stuff like the GPD, I used to watch Taki's reviews on that. I was like, okay, used to watch the Forks as well. Anyone else that would kind of review them. So Taki was always hot when it came to these handhelds, especially the Windows ones. So, you know, I knew the guy knew what he was kind of talking about on there. But yeah, you know, I know the guy's busy. So when it's a conversation, I know it's taking time. Like even me now with all the social media stuff and everything there, sometimes it's hard to keep up. There was a point where I would answer every single comment, every single thing. Now I just can't do it. So there's some just that I just have to let go. I'll still try and answer as many as I can, but I just have to let them go. But Taki's super busy with this stuff, man. So I definitely appreciate any time or any interactions that I have had with him, you know, because we all have an understanding of that. Right, let's have a look at some other games. Let's go for, what folder are we in? Hopefully we are in, let's go Panzer Dragoon. Because that's okay, so it's not going to be, it's going to be in the USA folder. Makes sense, give USA priority first. I always say Panzer Dragoon Auto. I really like the one on the Xbox. Guys, for anyone that's late and tuning in, we're kind of testing the SuperStation One SEGA Saturn core. Like, it's a real funny one because like the SuperStation One, it is a MiSTer FPGA. So when we're testing Saturn, we're pretty much doing what we're doing on any MiSTer FPGA. But, you know, as well as like I'm hyping this device up because I like it. I think it's the best MiSTer FPGA out there that you can buy. Best bang for buck, best value for money, best straight out of the box experience, right? There is no other. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Have a look at everything else around and compare all the factors, and that's what you'll get. However, you know, for anyone out there, and that's anyone out there that wants to play 3D fighters on here, then, you know, then this may not be the device for you. And that's not because of the device itself. It just means a single variant of the MiSTer FPGA, a single RAM variant. You might need a dual SD RAM. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth the extra money? And that's subjective, because if you're a 3D fighting game player and that is your nostalgia, that is why you got into FPGA gaming, that is what you want, then that's what you go for. You know, go like they say, follow your heart. And Dragon Auto, yeah, Dragon Auto is the one on the Xbox. The original Xbox one was superb, man. Absolutely loved that game to bits. I used to play it so much on the original Xbox. My original bloody Xbox doesn't boot up. Something wrong with it. A capacitor's leaked, or the hard drive or someone's gone down. I need to actually get one of my friends or someone to look at it that knows what they're doing, and hopefully I can get that fixed. Yeah, Auto's fantastic, man. You know, I used to like that. There was another game on there called Origami, was it? That was really cool as well. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a native PC port of this game. You know, with the 3D stuff, if someone's like, yeah, but we haven't had any Saturn decomps, have we? You know who I like for all the decomp news is Video Game Esoterica, man. That guy proper keeps up with that, man. Trying to play it like Star Fox. Can I lock on like Star Fox? And what's cool over here, look, you press right and you can look around to your right, behind you, kind of rotate around. Very unique how you play it. But you know, seeing this game for the first time on a Sega Saturn, like it was mind-blowing, right? Because coming from an era of 2D gaming and having a look at this and thinking like, wow, it's insane how good this is, right? Really good. Really good. And seeing this and just thinking like, wow, this is crazy nuts how good this is. And it really was. I remember, like I said near the beginning of the stream, this is the first game I played on a Saturn, and it was advanced consoles just off Carnaby Street, central London, very close to Oxford Circus, which a lot of people know, even if you're not from the UK, being a famous touristy street. And I was blown away by it, man. Just, you know, playing this and thinking like, wow. Like, I mean, if I had the money at the time, after playing this game, I would have bought a Saturn. I just didn't have the money, man. You know, being kids, not having all that money, it was tough. So you had to be selective. Remember, I always had to sell my previous console in order to fund the next console with the money that I had. In fact, my mum got me a job in my uncle's shop. So I used to go there after school and work for a few hours. And I think my mum did that more because I was hanging around with you know, with my friends, and she thought, yeah, this guy's up to no good. And she was absolutely right. We were definitely up to no good. But she tried to kind of get me there. And I kind of liked working because it gave me money that I could spend like on the weekend or the days I wasn't actually working. So, and I think my uncle used to pay my mum. So she was taking some of the money as my wages. I just didn't know it. I'm pretty sure that's what she did. She never owned up to it. And now I can't ask her because she's got dementia. Mind you, her long-term memory, she does remember stuff. So I may ask her. Maybe she'll remember. Yeah, I'm glad like she still recognizes and remembers me because, you know, like when I come back from work or something and I see her, like right now she's at my sister's and she'll be there till Friday. But, you know, she gets really happy when she sees me because I think she recognizes me a lot more than my kids. Sometimes like with my kids, she goes, whose kid is that? Is that one of our kids? I'm like, that's your grandson. He's 11. You've known him your whole life. But here you go. That's dementia for you people. But yeah, okay, let's go in here again. Like, what a great game, guys. What a great game. Good info there. Cool. I love it, guys. Love it. I love it when you share information and help each other down there. And that's, again, one of the things about the live streaming. I'll tell you what, I like streaming in 4K, but there's one downside of streaming in 4K. With 4K, I can't do a low latency stream. So when I do a low latency stream, there's like 5 seconds behind us, right? I'm firing behind. Where am I firing? Yeah, there's like 5 seconds when I say something, 5 seconds later, guys, you know, you hear it. So the conversation's a lot more lively. Whereas when I do it on 4K, there's at least 30 seconds behind. So it doesn't have the same, it doesn't really have the same effect as as doing a 1080p one. But it's nice doing this stuff in 4K. I think the Saturn's got like a great video output and it just looks really good in 4K. Okay, let's run another game. This is a superb game. Yeah, the PC version was also unlockable. Oh, okay. Well, is there a PC version of Auto Out? I should pick it up, actually, if there is. Let's have a look. Okay, sorry. Insert this. There's an RPG version of it. Let's see. Remember Magic Carpet? So that was kind of interesting, right? Because Magic Carpet was a game I remember seeing with a dude flying on a magic carpet. It was very like, it was hyped for all the PCs at the time. It was like, wow. Look at this game, it's bloody cutting edge. I don't know how well we'll be able to play it. What's really interesting, there's a new variant of the Sega Saturn core. And that version of the Saturn core, you can use a keyboard. So some games you can actually play via a keyboard. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got that version of the core. Well, actually, you know what? One thing I do want to check, guys. Okay, yeah. So look, the version of the core that we're running here is we're running the core that comes in via Update Tool. And I wanted to do it that way because what happens is I I've got the unstable version, right, which is this one over here. I've got dual SD RAM on here as well because I've got a dual SD RAM MiSTer and I use the same memory card. I just take it out of one MiSTer and put it in the other. Now, the latest unstable build you can see is from the 16th of February. So that was from like what? Like what's the date today? Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And that's the latest stable one you've got is from, oh, that's quite loud. Let me turn that down a sec. So the latest stable you've got is from October last year. The latest stable you've got is what, 4 months newer than that one. And I'm not running the unstable version. I wanted to run the stable version because for any of you guys that have got your SuperStation One, you're gonna have the stable version on there. When you run Update Tool, you're gonna have the stable version, and that's why I've gone with that. I often, when I do the streams, I go and get the latest version out there. I just want all the features in there. I want the superior version of the core. It's a test version, but in my experience, I've never had a single issue with a test core. They've all worked, especially for the Saturn. They've worked without issue. So let's have a look at this. Magic Carpet. Never really played this, so I'm not sure if I've played this. Guys, I'm so tempted to pick up Resident Evil Requiem for the Switch, but what happens is I know I'm not going to play it. Like, for example, I could have played it tonight if I bought it, or I could have done a stream, and I'll always pick a stream. I just really enjoy streaming. It's fun. Auto wasn't, it was on the Xbox then, right? So I'd love to see games like that get ported over. Wow, okay. Am I flying a Magic Carpet? I think I am. I'm pretty sure it was a third-person view. Oh, this is bizarre. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, wow. Fire button. Okay. Oh, that's down. I didn't realize, I'm sure like there was like a way, I remember seeing the guy on the carpets, there was a third person view. Got to big up the soundtrack there, guys. Put it up a little bit. Okay, which way is land? Okay, so we a little bit land. Oh wow, okay, we're flying to a castle. Guys, I have to say, for the time this came out, it's quite a banging game. Wow, okay, oof. You know what? Wow. A very kind of cryptic-y kind of music, man. Wow, okay, about maximum half hour left, guys. It's a school night. Don't want to annoy the wife. She'll want to use the bedroom. Told her till 9:30, so that'll be like the 100% cut-off point by then at the very latest. Okay, so this is Magic Carpet. Probably the first time I've tried this, but I have to say though, for its time, this game looks freaking amazing. Like, I don't know if I would have played it back then. It would have been fascinating to fly around. You know, this is the type of game that, for that era, you would have been more awed by the actual tech, what you're seeing, you know, all this movement. And even though Saturn couldn't do 3D that well, this is pretty cool, guys. Very, very cool. But we're going to load another game because I'm just flying around, not really doing much. I know someone wanted that. That gives me, I'm really sorry, that always gives me a bloody copyright warning, man. I think I might have even renamed the game or a folder saying, yeah, copyright warning on that. Let's just see. Oh, you know what? So this is a hidden gem of a shmup. Really, really good. And it's something that I discovered on the SEGA Saturn, and it is absolutely amazing, this game. Watch amazing video the other day about the Saturn has the best. Oh man, does it? I know it has a really good video chip. I didn't know about the sound chip. I know the Dreamcast, the sound chip isn't great, but yeah, on the Amiga it's not. Sorry, not the Amiga. The Dreamcast is not great. But yeah, the video signal on the Saturn, out of every core on the MiSTer FPGA, the Saturn has the best video signal. It's even better in direct video. I haven't gone direct video here. I've gone from 1080p straight to 4K. Guardian Heroes, yeah, we can give that a run. I kind of like that game, but at the same time, I don't fully kind of understand it. But right, let's go. This game is amazing. All right, and yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, press that like button. Do it if you love the MiSTer. While calling up, Karen does a little fart heart. Soundtrack for this is wicked as well. Yeah, yeah, no, you get flagged up for with certain soundtracks, man. Ankle. Some really cool stuff here, guys. Love this game so much. By the way, guys, Takyudom's got a really good Discord server. So if you've ordered a SuperStation One, it's worth joining that. Like, very friendly crowd in there. Just really nice people. Really nice people. Oops. By the way, this is out for the PlayStation as well. Okay, level down. I don't want to get leveled down. I don't really understand the power-ups in this too well, but I guess there's some that have a negative effect. I used to hate some games that had that negative effect, you know, and they'd put that power-up would pop up, or power down in this case, would pop up in the worst possible place. So you'd have to try and dodge it or do some weird jump. Look how cool this boss is, guys. Look at the little baby elephant riding this big elephant boss. I mean, yeah, they just don't make games like that anymore, man. Band Presto, guys, generally means a good time. Like this, I'm trying to think of like bad Band Presto games. They're really, it's difficult to think of any. Is he going to come out? Oh, I love this part here now. So you destroy this, the little baby elephant runs out that was riding the mech with a surrender flag. And I've tried chasing him down so many times, but you just can't get rid of him. I keep trying. Okay, I love like the birds flying up there, what they look like. I'm sure this is an arcade game, right? I think someone even mentioned it last time. Not something I ever saw in the arcade, but I strongly recommend this game. And I mean, look at this, what a unique shmup. I don't know what that thing is, some kind of toad looking vehicle firing out like birds, or what the hell is it firing out? It is just absolutely insane. Wow. I think that thing becomes like a big boss. So you fight a big boss that looks very similar to that little vehicle there. I really like that little missile thing that I've got, the way it kind of comes back and flies out. Really good. So you can kind of aim it at something and then just kind of move off. Like there's a delay to it kind of coming out, which is really, really cool. Here we go. Oh yeah, look, it's like a big dog thing. I thought it was bigger than this actually. I don't think this is it. I don't think this is this boss's final form. Time Boken is a silly anime series. Yeah, from Tatsunoko, man. They do awesome stuff. So a friend of mine, when I first showed him MiSTer, I showed him this game. He was blown away by it. And he was telling me, yeah, I remember this character from Tatsunoko. And actually, you can play this 2 players as well. You know, a good fun shmup. You know what's so good about this? So like, you can have a shmup that's so good and so playable, but what makes a shmup special for me is when you see stuff like in Parodius, like the real wacko crazy stuff, right? Even like stuff like, sorry, not Parodius, yeah? Parodius, you see the crazy stuff like Batsugan. When you see all like the water, the dolphin swimming, it was all about like the scenery, what you're flying over, that really made the shmup for me. Obviously the playability was a large part of it as well, but having like a really good scene or having good surroundings was really good. So yeah, this game delivers on that, you know, like you go and you see lots of wacky stuff here, man. So the Time Boken series, a Tatsunoko goofy cartoon, and a game based on that. I'm on a bike here, right? Look, I'm a bike now. Enko, love like the 3D kind of scaling effects that we got here. Check out Yip Man live action movie. That's awesome. Right, wicked. Will do. Right, okay. So let's check one thing here. A really good game as well. So is it in Sega Ages? Ah, this is the one. This has got one of the best arcade games of all time in here, guys. Simply one of the best, guys. Simply one of the best. And that is a special criminal investigation, man. And hopefully Wicker Wacker's kind of created a GitHub for Chase HQ. So hopefully we'll get a MiSTer FPGA call one day, but the same hardware, very similar hardware. We've got the follow-up, which is Special Criminal Investigation. Love this game so much, guys. So much. Used to play this in the arcade. It's just wicked. Look at that violent fight written there. Press start button, user credit. Nancy there at the beginning giving you the instructions. Good old Nancy. How you doing, babes? So banging. Any games? Yes, so Synchrotron MGR. The only game, sorry, I should really pay attention here. Is it high-low? I can't remember how to change gear now. Oh, that was turbo. Oh, okay, there you go. That's it there. Whoops. Can we restart? No. Sorry guys, I'm sucking at this. Need to change gear high-low. And you've got your gun. This is what made it really, really good. Look, you just had a dude that could just fire constantly out of there. You get like a bazooka as well. This rain part just looked absolutely amazing in the arcade. What a game. But you know, this is something that, like, I'm quite happy playing racing games on controller. This is something, apart from when I played it on the Saturn years and years later, this is just something that I played in the arcade, guys. And playing it in the arcade, obviously we played it on a steering wheel. Yeah, I'm doing a really, really bad job of this. But there you go, you got the criminal there. There you go. Is it going to drop me a bazooka? No? Okay, we got that one. This is so cool. Look at the way, look at the graphics here where he's on the floor. He's got the gun above him. I remember that. No, it's not that one. Okay, cool. Look at that. That just looks so darn good. I used to remember seeing that in the arcade and thinking like, wow, that just looks so darn good. And they're a couple criminal, right? The dude and the girl, because she doesn't look like she's being rescued, right? What you got for us? So there you go. The helicopter will bring you a rocket launcher, 5 shots to van. And I'll be honest with you, in the arcade, we used to, get to like the second level. The second level, it got tough. Sometimes you'd pass like the second level, but generally speaking, you'd, that's where you'd get to it again. Just, oh man, such a darn good game. And this one, look, there's no edges, right? So, there's probably like innocent standbyers, like nice people driving. Look at that, shooting the helicopter. There's a car game I used to like as well. I don't know if anyone played it in the arcade. It was called Hot Chase. What a game, guys. You know, the arcade steering wheel had 2 red buttons on it, and when you pressed the buttons or one of the buttons, he would get out of the car and shoot. I can't remember if you had to press both or not. I think I pressed both, but you may have only had to press one of them. It was really, really, really cool arcade cabinet. And I think we might be out. Okay, this is well worth checking out. Yeah, so you can, hold on, let's go to that. So, I can't remember what the code is. I think you need to go and set it to like international mode or something, and then you get like, I think then you go to smooth mode in there and you get the 60 FPS version. So arguably the best version of Outrun might actually be the Sega Saturn version, even better than the arcade, because I'm pretty sure the arcade version is 30 FPS. Oh no, sorry, what am I doing? It's not in this one. Oops. There you go, ages. No, it's not this one here. There you go, that's Love Mickey Volume 1. I can't remember where Outrun is. Is it just on the Outrun maybe? No, I can't remember where it is, man. Always forget where it is. Sega Ages Volume 1. Let's have a look. In case it is on this. Be interesting if it is. Let's have a look. PC and what controller? Oh, I'm playing with the 8-bit Dowdle. Lucky and Wild was great in the arcade. Yeah, that was an interesting game, Big Jaffa. Yeah, I'm using the 8-bit Dowdle M30 controller. I feel like it's a good controller for this. Oh, here we go, Outrun. Ah, cool, we picked the right one. So Sega Ages Volume 1, I think it was. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, Sega Ages Volume 1. I have to try and remember that for next time. So I know if we go into the options, I can't remember if you press A and C or something, if there's a secret code. C's or... I think, is it A and C that you press? Ah, there you go, yes. So I think you press A and C, overseas smooth. That wasn't there just, I don't think so. I think I pressed it with that. So overseas smooth, that's fine. Okay. Oops.
Get ready.
Let's put the sound up a bit. Wow, this is so darn smooth. You can see it, man. Look at the road. I know the sound's loud, but it's loud for a reason. Because it's time to take a shower. It's time to take a magical sound shower. Let's do this. Guys, this is so much better in the smooth mode, like amazingly better. Yeah, I'm calling it, you know, this is better than the arcade core, man. Still, Outrun 2006 is yeah, M30 is good, man. M30 is a very, very good controller. All right, okay, what we got? Right, guys, coming up to like the last 10 minutes. I appreciate everyone kind of dropping by and watching, and just requesting, if you haven't pressed that like button, press that like button. And let's see what else. What are some games that are like, you know what, this is what Sega Saturn's about. I forgot. Oh, someone mentioned Guardian Heroes, I think. Here we go. Let's do Guardian Heroes. Sorry, guys. I always seem to forget. Sometimes you guys just need to remind me. So let's go into that. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this stream, if you like all things MiSTer, then yeah, guys, press that like button. Wicked. Oh yeah, man. It's darn good, man. Really, really good. So guys, like, look. SuperStation One is freaking awesome. If you've ordered one, just wait for it, man. Wait for it. You can't go wrong with it. It is amazing. A flawless device, absolutely brilliant. It feels great to hold. It doesn't overheat. It is superb. It is the best of MiSTer. If you've got an analog display, well, you are in for a treat, because you can put that to multiple analog devices simultaneously, and it is just absolutely berserk. It is absolutely amazing. All right, let's go Randy. So this sounds like a big beginning and everything. I have to say, this is a very, very stylish game. Very, very stylish game. Like, very, very cool. This is a game which I think like looks a lot better on a CRT. Still looks good without any effects or anything on here. But honestly, it's a type of game. This game here was really, really made for a CRT. And also, guys, just if anyone does have a PS Vita TV that they are looking to sell, and you're in the UK at a decent price, I am after one. Especially if you've already got it with custom firmware, so it saves me that job. I just want to do a few streams at some point. No rush. I've still got plenty of different hardware I can connect to the Morph4K to do these streams. But I think that'll be a good one to do. I mean, this game is superb. Look at this. You see, but see, back when this game came out, I wouldn't have appreciated it. I would have said, nah, man, you know what? I'm into 3D stuff. What is this? What is this? What is this rubbish game that looks like a Super Nintendo game? And that's just how it was. Between me and my friends, it was like, nah, we're onto 3D now, man. We want GoldenEye, we want like the Mario Karts, we want the Resident Evils, you know, we want the 3D stuff that is happening. We don't want this 2D stuff. And what's amazing is out of PlayStation, Nintendo 64 and Sega Saturn, right now the one that I like revisiting the most, without a doubt, is the Sega Saturn. It's just bloody amazing. And after that, I have to say PlayStation. Then after that, I'll say Nintendo 64 being the last one out of that generation. Was it? Yeah, it was that generation. Yeah, it was my last one. However, I have to say though, Nintendo 64 is the most popular, with Saturn probably being second and PlayStation being last. As far as like when I do stuff on the channel, any poll to date that I've done that has the Sega Saturn, the Saturn has always won. Always won it, man. So you guys like the Saturn a heck of a lot as well, as just as I do. So absolutely fantastic. This is such a darn good game, man. I need to try some software emulation for Saturn as well to see what I can play on a handheld. Either something like my Retroid Pocket 5 or the Steam Deck, or one of the many handhelds out there. Okay. Right, very interesting stuff here. This is a very interesting side scroller, man. What time we got? Wow, okay, last kind of 5 minutes, so nice. You do like combos and stuff in here. Ah, okay, that's the change plane, Fatal Fury style. Really cool and stylish game, guys. Let's see, what else have we got? That Gun Griffin is a good game. I want to run something with a good attract mode. This is a good one with a good attract mode, actually. Or shall I do Die Hard Arcade? Let's do, I think Decathlete has a good attract mode. And that's a really good game. If you want to play like you know, a game with a whole bunch of your friends, bring them around and you know, mash those buttons, then that's a really good game to play, Decathlete, right? It's very cool. Shout out to my buddy Phil. He kind of put me onto this game. I kind of miss Phil on the streams, man. He used to come in, and he's a guy that's kind of like made me like introduce me to a lot of hidden gems, like a heck of a lot of hidden gems. So really cool. Decathlete, really good. So this is one of the games that for a long time the graphics were a bit muddled up, so you would get silhouettes when you launch this game, but it's working, and it's working really well now. And this is one of those games that, you know, like there was an era, you know, like the later time in the arcade. Like my time in the arcade is definitely that kind of 16-bit era is my golden era of the arcade gaming. But then I remember going to the arcade and seeing stuff like this in there. And this kind of stuff was fun. It was fun to bloody play, man. Like, you know, you'd go in somewhere, you'd mash those buttons, and this is the same classic formula that you had on like something like Track and Field, or I used to have like on the Atari 800, Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Bloody hell, man. I had to wiggle that Atari joystick, and I had blisters on my hand playing that game. I still remember that from Activision a long time ago. So that was superb, right? Okay, let's do one more for Die Hard Arcade, because I think Die Hard Arcade is fantastic. And guys, see Die Hard Arcade, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said this game aged absolutely like 100% horribly. I just would have thought that's what I would have said. But I'm going and checking it out now. Yeah, do you know what? Synchrotron, this is going to be the last one. I'm going to kind of be ending the stream. But yeah, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said to you that yeah, this game has aged horribly, right? But now I really like it. I like those early kind of 3D brawlers. They've got a charm about them. synchrotron. If we do another stream, definitely we'll do that. I've got a translation of Police Noughts, but Police Noughts is it's a text-heavy game, so you know, for doing multiple games in a stream, it's not the most entertaining game to watch like that. However, I do agree it's a very, very stylish game. But there is a training mode in that where you train, where you fire like target practice, and that's quite entertaining to have a look at. But Police Noughts is a very, very stylish game. I feel like it's a game that we should play. Oh, are you a proud member of the N64 Hater Club? I don't hate the N64. I just feel like out of the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, and the Saturn, N64 has aged the absolute worst, right? Whereas the Saturn has probably, at least in my opinion, for the most part, aged like a fine wine. The PlayStation's aged well as well for quite a lot of the part, because there is a good mixture of games on there, and the N64 for the most part has aged like milk, man. Like it's look. I always say, like, I like the N64. There's new games that I discovered now, stuff that I never played back in the day, like Sin and Punishment. Love the game. Bang.io is another game, but I played that on the DS. That's on there as well. There's a whole bunch of games. Notice I mentioned 2 bloody treasure games there, right? So there's a whole bunch of good games. But Mario Kart, like I've rinsed out Mario 64 to death, right? But Mario Kart by Lightron or Mario Kart Amped Up is really, really good. But when it comes to like GoldenEye, that era of playing multiplayer, doing the whole thing, I mean, I'm waiting for the PC port of GoldenEye, and I'll actually go through and play the game again on a high frame rate in you know, upscaled graphics, hopefully with HD textures and stuff. But you know, when you're playing stuff from the N64, a lot of the games really aren't that good. The Unlock 3D does a good job at improving some of those games, but it's still an N64, man. And I don't mean to kind of sound ungrateful for it, because it might also be that I played it quite a lot in the last 2 years with the N64 called the MiSTer FPGA and testing it. So I don't have the love for it that I once used to have. It's a decent system. It's just not, it's for me, like the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn's better, even though it's the next generation. The Dreamcast, love playing that machine, preferred, that's my favorite machine out of that generation, even though I still like the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. So good stuff there. But guys, gonna wrap this up. So for anyone wondering, just to kind of summarize now, the MiSTer FPGA or the SuperStation is absolutely fantastic. It's the best value MiSTer FPGA you can get. You cannot get any better than this as far as money goes. The only disadvantage, and it's not a deal breaker, is if you are a hardcore, and I use the word hardcore, if you are a hardcore Virtua Fighter player, or 3D fighters were the reason or are the reason you want to get yourself a MiSTer FPGA, that's why you want to get yourself into FPGA gaming, then maybe consider getting a dual SD-RAM version. Now with the dual SD-RAM version, where it's going to cost you a bit more money, so it just depends on how much value there is in there for you. A large part of this stream is having a look at games that are slowing down, and that's just because, hey, you know what, you guys wanted to see the Sega Saturn core. There was a lot of misinformation out there where people said it wouldn't work on the SuperStation One, which was really, really weird, because the SuperStation One is a single SD-RAM MiSTer FPGA, and it works on a single MiSTer FPGA, single SD-RAM MiSTer FPGA. So a lot of people talk, and it kind of gets out there, and I had quite a lot of requests of literally people asking me questions, or can you test Saturn, can you do this? So I thought to myself, you know what, let's just go and do a Saturn stream. So anything that we've seen here where there's a slowdown, it's not because it's a SuperStation One, it's because of the setup. This would happen on any MiSTer that you get, whether you go and buy a MiSTer from the Heber guys, whether you go and buy a QM Tech MiSTer, whether you buy one from MiSTer Add-ons, whether you buy an original DE10 Nano from Thoracic and make your own build, the slowdown that we saw in those games will occur in that. So it's a simple choice of if you want to go for a dual SD-RAM bundle. What really would have been nice is if somehow there was an option, but I don't know how feasible that will be when you're designing something. You are paying for injection molding, and injection molding is not cheap, guys. I've spoken to people that have done production, and you're kind of talking like each injection mold, maybe even for something smaller than the SuperStation One, is at least $10,000, at least $10,000. So you need to make sure that you're going to sell a certain amount of units, you're going to have something, you're going to use it for a long time, and doing multiple of those would only cost more money. So SuperStation One, if you're thinking about it, absolutely order one. If you order one, wait for it, don't cancel your order. You know, some people are saying they're going to cancel their order. That's completely up to you if you want to do it. The only thing is, if you're impatient and you want to grab yourself one, the MiSTer Multi-System 2 is like a decent alternative that you might only wait 2 or 3 months for. I don't know what their pre-order schedule is like now. However, you do have to think it's not going to have as many analog outputs out of the box. You need to buy a separate power supply, a power barrel supply that's going to set you back some money. The case is 3D printed. So there are a lot of trade-offs that you are getting, and there's a lot of stuff that you're missing that the SuperStation One has, and you're paying more for it. However, it depends, right, how much you are willing to pay, or you might not want to wait, right? It's the same principle of, like, an example on a smaller scale. I was looking at what was I looking for? I was looking for a VGA cable for the Dreamcast, and I looked on Amazon, and I got recommended one from my friend Razor X, who's, you know, does a lot of work for the Dreamcast community, and he pointed me out. I said to him, just send me an Amazon link of which one will work best, and he sent me a link, and it was £20 or £19, and I could get it the next day or even the same day if I ordered £20 worth of stuff, right? So same day delivery on Amazon, or I can order it from AliExpress for £8 bloody delivered, right? So I wasn't in a hurry for it, so I went for the AliExpress one. The AliExpress one, rather than coming the same day or the day after, it arrived within, like, it was quick actually, it arrived within 1 week, 1 full week I had it, right? So that was cool, but that was my choice because I could wait. Now, if I didn't want to wait, and I've done this many a times where I can get something cheaper, but I don't want to wait, so I'll just pay for that Amazon same day delivery and I'll get it. Or sometimes I'm off the weekend and I want to play it on the weekend, I want to use something on the weekend. So it's down to you what you go for. But this device so far, 100% flawless, right? I've done more live streams than I've done videos. Most of the stuff that I've played with this has been on video, has been on air, and I like doing this with all hardware that I get. Everything that I get, I just go straight into a stream, because if something goes wrong with it, if there's something defective, you're going to see that straight away on stream with me, and I'm going to be as shocked as you are if that happens. But this has been amazing. Same as when I got the MiSTer Pi, I went straight in with a stream after the unboxing. This device is freaking flawless. So go out and get it. And guys, I'm you know, like, I've got a free SuperStation One from Taki for the purpose of doing videos and doing reviews on there, but there are 0 strings attached with this. There is nothing. I've got it, and all I do is I give my honest opinion on it, and that's why I like doing streams more, because when something happens, it just happens, and we're like, okay, this is an issue. Then obviously I'll say, Taki, look, during the stream this happened, you guys will see it. But 0 issues with this. It's running flawlessly as expected. So guys, with that, I'll wrap this up. Yeah, do let me know what you guys kind of want to see next. I've got a poll running on YouTube at the moment. I'm going to try and do a live stream tomorrow. It might not be that long. It might only be like an hour and a half, because tomorrow I'll be back later from work than I was today. But my missus is cool, so she'll let me do a stream. So I've got Nintendo 64, I've got PlayStation, I've got Jaguar, and I've got Neo Geo. Before doing this stream, Nintendo 64 was winning, but if there's a particular system you want to see out of those 4, then just go and vote on that poll in the community section of the channel. Yeah, guys, that's kind of it. I thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. That's why I love doing these streams. Love just hanging out, love seeing you guys talking to one another. It is freaking awesome. So with that, guys, yeah, be awesome to one another. If you haven't pressed that like button, or you're not subscribed to the channel, then please do so. It really does help out. You know what, Cantidio, you know what I'm going to do? What I'll do, right, just for the outro, because KOF will likely have a good attract mode, let's just put that on. I'm not going to play it, and I'm just gonna kind of end the video there. Is it the King of Fighters? I can't remember now. Or maybe it's in a different folder. Right, okay. Is it no, is it King? If I can't find it, we're just going to stay on this, and I'm going to end it. I've definitely got some King of Fighters. Okay, King of Fighters. Oh, I haven't got, okay, I haven't got that. So we'll go the next year. We'll go King of Fighters 96. Sorry, I haven't got 95 there. Nintendo 64, if that's the question mark there, that there's a poll you can vote for on the channel in the community section. So guys, yeah, okay, there you go. That's loading up. Look, guys, this is goodbye from me. Yeah, be freaking awesome to one another. Try and put your vote in for tomorrow's stream, which I do hope to do unless something changes. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it like on the weekend. So that stream's inbound. Anyway, guys, be awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.
In 1996.
Loud, bottom, cross. Down, one. Ready, go.
Yeah!